everybody, I'm so excited to make this video. So I recently just got a new business opportunity, so I want to share it with you all today. Have you guys ever been interested in being your own boss and working from home? Maybe making $500 to $1,000 a week with doing minimal amount of work. Well, I have something perfect for you. All you have to do is watch the rest of this video. Hey everybody, welcome back to The Wealthy Sailor, and today we're going to talk about the intro I just made, because that is exactly what it sounds like every time somebody I haven't talked to for 20 years, who I knew in high school, contacts me on Facebook to tell me about their awesome new business idea. And it's always the same thing. It's some sort of multi-level marketing system. Okay, so brief overview. Multi-level marketing systems are usually considered pyramid schemes, or at least that's how people refer to them. Now, while I agree there's a difference between a pyramid scheme and a simple multi-level marketing business structure, there are a lot of cross betweens, so you have to be wary. So if you're looking for the end of this video, this is the answer. Probably not the best business investment. Now watch the rest of the video if you want to know why and have more information on how I came to that conclusion. Okay, so first I'm going to explain to you a little bit about multi-level marketing and how it works. You've probably heard a lot of these companies before. I'm sure you've heard of Amway or Mary Kay or Herbalife, which has $4.5 billion in sales last year, which is amazing. So basically the way these companies work is that you sign up to be a salesperson. And while you're trying to sell the product, you're also trying to recruit more salespeople to work underneath you as part of your team. Now, you get a percentage of whatever your team sells, but anybody that they recruit and sell, they also, you also get a percentage of that. And just like you're kicking up a percentage to the person who recruited you before that. That's a very simple structure, and that's why it looks like a pyramid, because you have one person, then 3, and then ideally 9 below that, and so forth and so on. From what I could find out during my research on the internet, is that multi-level marketing came in with about $36 billion in sales last year, which is a huge number. But as I rolled into it a little bit, I wanted to find out more detail about like how does it actually work. And the thing is, a lot of these companies are very notoriously stingy with their actual numbers. And I think there's a reason for that, which I'll go into in a little bit. Okay, so as I said, if you're a member of one of these business models, there's only really 2 ways of making money. You either sell the product or you recruit somebody else to sell the product. But here's the interesting catch behind that. In order to start selling the product, you have to buy, first, a lot of them you have to buy into the program itself, but then you also have to buy product to then sell. So you buy a product at wholesale with the idea that you sell it at retail, and then you pocket the difference. Great business strategy, right? That's how most consumables are sold. In fact, most people don't realize this, but when you go to Target or Walmart only paid about 50% of what you're paying. The rest is markup for them, which they need to pay for their bills and stuff like that. So that's not uncommon. What is uncommon is that they give you special incentives to buy more as a sales representative. So a normal salesperson for a company does not take possession of the actual thing they're trying to sell. Like, for example, if you're a car salesman, you're not buying the car and then selling the car. You are selling the car as a representative of the car dealership, who actually usually does buy the car, except some official dealers actually get them on consignment, and that's kind of a different thing. So you have to actually buy the product first before you can sell the product. And then there's incentives to buy more product. For example, if you buy, let's say, $100 a month worth of product, you might get a little bit of a discount on that product because you qualify for certain levels. So it incentivizes the salesperson to buy in bulk and to buy consistently in order to keep their high standing with the company. And by doing so, they pay a smaller amount for the products which they bought. I know this is complicated. I'm sorry. I'm doing the best I can to try to explain this, so just bear with me a little bit. It'll get less complicated in a minute. Okay, so because the salespeople are buying so much product, that's where the sales number comes into account. So the company is selling however many hundreds of thousands or whatever, millions of dollars of product, but they're selling it to the salespeople. And this all brings me to a term that I found when I was doing research for this. and it's kind of universal to most of the multi-level marketing business structure businesses out there. It's called garage qualified, and what it basically means is that a salesperson will buy so much product and it sits in their garage to try to keep high standing. And because of that, it just sits in their garage, but they stay qualified, they're high standing, so if they need more product, they can buy it for cheaper and hence make more profit, ideally. What I couldn't find, and that this is with all of the multi-level marketing companies that I looked into, I could not find the number for how much they sell within their company to their salespeople compared to how much their salespeople then push out the door to non-salespeople. And this is where I believe the word pyramid scheme comes in. I think the word scheme is a very special word, and it mainly means something illegal or at least extremely immoral is going on, which is why I'm bringing it up at this point of the video. Because if you're selling more of your product to your salespeople than they are pushing out the door, that means your primary customer are the people who you told are working for you, which makes it very tricky to how to judge whether this is a good business entity or not. Because if you're talking to somebody and they're asking about business advice on this particular thing, it's like, well, yeah, okay, theoretically you can make a lot of money. You can take a product, and don't get me wrong, at least I know Mary Kay has decent products. They sell makeup and facial cream and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that they have a bad product. But what I am saying, though, is that it doesn't seem to be a sustainable market force if you're selling your product to people who are supposed to be selling the product to other people, but those salespeople aren't actually making the sales. And they could not be making sales for a ton of reasons. One reason is because, I'll tell you right now, they are not trying to recruit salespeople, or at least people that are involved in sales aren't interested in the recruiting. I went through about 7 hours of videos of all the different multi-level marketing stuff. And I watched videos of who they recruit in order to sell the product for them. Basically, who goes to these conventions, who goes to the meetings and stuff. And I watched some interviews with them, and this is making a broad judgment. And disclaimer, I apologize fully if you're included in this. But they don't seem to be recruiting master salespeople. It's a lot of people that are either unemployed, maybe staying home with kids, maybe because they can't find a job, or underemployed. And the thing is that a lot of these systems seem to target certain demographics. I saw an interview where they were really targeting the Hispanic community in Florida, but they targeted them in such a way that they're going after the more not very economically stable demographic. And because of that, they had people that were like throwing their money away, money that they didn't really have to throw away, but they're throwing it away because they're buying into products that they think really help. Which leads me to my next point. Not all of them make this claim, but at least one of them claimed that their special blueberry smoothie drink cures cancer. And now that's not a company-wide belief, but it is something that on YouTube you can see the salesperson actually saying to somebody while trying to recruit them. Now, I'm not a doctor. I haven't done any studies on this, but I'm pretty sure if it could cure cancer, he would not have to sell it to somebody in a Starbucks. He would have the cure to cancer, and he would be selling it other ways and making money that way. So I'm pretty sure that's at least not totally factual. Okay, so some statistics I found about multi-level marketing. Only about 18 to 40%, and it depends on the which business you go with and stuff like that, ever see any type of return on investment. Any type. And the thing is, a lot of them don't even make out the amount of money that they initially invested, because as I said, a lot of these, when you first start them up, they have to buy some sort of starter kit or buy initial products, or a friend of mine got involved with a company that sells like cable TV packages, cell phone packages, and stuff like that, and they charge you to set up your website in order for you to get it. And again, it's the same thing where they charge her several $100s to start up her thing, but then part of how she wanted to make her money was to recruit a team working under her. And to be clear, the products were fine. Like, if I would have gone with her, I would have gotten a slight discount on my cell phone. I would have gotten a slight discount on my cable. It's not that the product is bad. It's that the reason that the company as a whole can afford to take a loss by having these discount packages is because they're making it back by selling the initial package to the salespeople. And that's where I start to have the problem with it. Okay, a few other numbers you should know. Just in an average month, and this is just for one particular company, I'm not going to say which one, but any particular month, 93% of people receive absolutely no money back. No checks are cut for 93% of their sales staff, which means 7% of the people are collecting it. I was not able to find out exactly how much the average check that they got was. So I'm kind of staying out on a limb a little bit here because I'm not sure, and I kind of feel like I'm assuming a little bit, which I am. I don't think the average amount was very high. So take that for what it's worth. Okay, so another thing, and this is something that anybody who's good at math can figure out, but let's say you're supposed to recruit 5 people, and then those 5 people are just recruit 5 people. After 14 times, you exceed the Earth's population, which means that, from what I can understand, you're only about 5 or 6 steps away from patient zero, which, the person who started this whole thing, which goes to show you that these tiered systems, they don't really seem very realistic, because they don't really, if they work the way they're supposed to work, then everybody in the world would already be a part of one of these companies, which would be bad, because if everybody was part of a company and they had no more product to sell, then the whole system would collapse, because their main focus is to sell the sales product, not to sell the consumer product, but the sales packages. Okay, so just some of my personal experience with it. I've never been a part of a multi-level marketing business structure. It's just not how I do things, because I'm not a salesperson. Even when you see how I make these videos, I'm not really a salesperson. I just make the videos, I talk, I give out the information, and you guys do what you want with it. Well, the thing is that I never felt like I'd be good at it. But even if I did, knowing all this information I know now, I still wouldn't get involved. Now, there are a lot of them out there, so I'm just going to go over some of the ones that I had run-ins with. My friend who sold internet, cable, electricity, and gas packages through her website. It was a decent product from what I could understand. I didn't buy anything, but I did get quoted at a lower price than what I was paying with my regular stuff. The reason I didn't get anything was simply because I was moving soon. I didn't want to change anything in Seattle when I knew I'd be moving. Another one with vacation packages. One of my friends from high school contacted me, and they sell vacation packages. I don't really believe in that product personally, simply because I can go on Kayak or any of the other hundreds of consumer websites out there and put together my own package just for a little more work, and I'd probably get a cheaper deal. So, and then another one I had running with was with the makeup one. And again, with the makeup one, I think the products were fine. It's not the products are bad. It's that the actual sales method is bad. Like, if the consumer product was that good, then they would put it in Walmart or Target, a place that gets so much customer volume that they'd be able to push products no problem. So by them not doing that, it makes me think that the product itself is not strong enough to carry the company. So what is strong enough to carry the company? The never-ending supply of convincing people to get involved as sales reps. They buy the product for months or maybe years until they run out of money to continue to buy such a high volume that they're not selling out the door. And then that's it. Then that person just goes away and you replace them with somebody else. Okay, so my final thought on multi-level marketing business structures. I don't know if all of them are pyramid schemes, but a lot of them certainly are. Every one that I looked up to make this video, I would consider a pyramid scheme. They are not sustainable business structures if you operate them the way that they tell you that they're operating them. They're making most of their money off selling to the salespeople, and the salespeople aren't able to push these out the door. However, I can tell you there are people that legitimately make money off of it. I think it's a very small percentage, but there are really successful people that make money off of it. But here's the problem I have with those people. Even if you're successful doing this, it seems as though you're successful because you're pushing your sales team to buy more and you're getting those kicks up. If you were to do multi-level marketing, and you were to do it the proper way, where you buy the product and then you sell it, and you're not really taking advantage trying to trick people into doing this stuff, then I don't really see the problem with you doing the business on a moral, ethical, or legal reason. But it seems that when I watch videos of the salespeople, it seems like the salespeople know that they're definitely pushing a product to be sold to the salespeople and to use them up as quickly as possible. And that's where I have the problem. That's where I consider it a scheme. So in the end, the wealthy sailor says, bad business move, bad investment, don't do it. Invest in almost anything else. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. If you like my video, give me a like or subscribe. Leave a comment if you want. Anyway, thank you for stopping by, and keep saving.